This Friday is a very special day on broadcasters right across the country. It's Stand Up to Cancer. It's the 4th season that they've done this. Joining me this morning is Dr. Michael Taylor. He's a pediatric neurosurgeon at Citytv. This is something that affects me right at home because 1998 I lost my brother Tony to Ewing sarcoma.
That's terrible.
Stand Up to Cancer Friday. Everybody should watch. And tell us about cancer today. What's going on?
So the #1 killer, non-accidental cause of death for children in Canada right now is cancer. And most people don't realize that. So cancer is a large problem in our pediatric community in Canada. And as most of us probably have friends or family members that are adults that have cancer as well. So as we become more and more advanced as a society, like Canada is, cancer becomes a bigger and bigger player in the cause of death. So we need to stand up to cancer.
Yeah, we need to stand up and kick it really right in the face is what I say. And that's what you do as a mission, is you're focused on kids. There are people right now watching us this morning that are battling through cancer. Tell me about fundraising right now. You're saying that fundraising, I hear the word cancer and fundraising happen all the time,
right,
but the funds are actually on a decline?
I think after 2008, when everyone had to tighten their belt, there was a little bit less money that was donated through philanthropy, perhaps a little bit less money from the government. So as cancer researchers, we spent a little bit more time scrabbling for money and a little bit less time trying to think up novel treatments. So it's wonderful that Stand Up to Cancer is coming to Canada to help fund Canadian investigators to do research in Canada to find new treatments and hopefully someday cures for cancer.
Yeah.
As you said, kick it in the... I would have chosen a different portion of the anatomy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's other words I want to say to it. Yeah. You know, that's going to be jam-packed with a lot of American celebrities, and it's going to have a little bit of an American feel with a Canadian spin. But really important to let people know the money that they donate will go right directly to projects like you're working on today. So
the money that's raised in Canada through the Canadian telethon on Friday night will go to Canadian dream teams that Stand Up to Cancer will pick with the help of a bunch of judges, if you will, that are mostly Canadian, and they will decide where to put money to really make a difference in patients' lives.
Are we making a difference today?
Absolutely.
Has it gotten better?
It's slow, right? But with each passing year, small types of cancers are being picked off that we have effective treatments for. We're just going to wear it away, just like we're sitting there smashing a giant rock with a hammer. And if every year a little pebble falls off that giant rock, eventually there'll be nothing left but rubble, right? Yeah. This is the world you work in. Are you still surprised by this disease? Like, is it still one that you're baffled by, or is it one that you feel like you got to hold on to right now? I think we know way more about cancer than we did 10 or 15 years ago, now that we can sequence the human genome and we can sequence the genome of cancers, which means basically, you know, when you're a kid, if the teacher wasn't that smart, she left her copy of the math book at the back of the room with the answers in it. And if you found at the back of the room, all of a sudden you had all the answers. Now that we can sequence the genome of cancers, I feel like I've got the teacher's copy and I'm cheating and looking at all the answers. We would never even dreamed of being able to do that 20 years ago. So now that we're cheating, we're making much faster progress. And you are right there at Citytv. You got Princess Margaret right across the street, Mount Sinai. That right there is pretty much the leading organizations in terms of cancer research in Canada. There are a lot of really good cancer research centers spread all across the country. I'm particularly proud of Citytv, of course, because I've worked there and I've worked there for a long time. And I think as Canadians, we should be proud because, and the Americans will admit this, we really punch above our weight in Canada. For $100 that's spent on cancer research, we tend to get much more knowledge out of that than a typical American researcher would. Where we know how to do things well and how to do them less expensively than the Americans do, for sure. So the viewers that are watching us this morning, what do you want them to do on Friday? Tune in on Friday night, watch the show. If you can, donate some money, or urge somebody you know to donate some money. And in return, we promise to stand up to cancer and to try and make things better for children and adults across the country and around the world. Well, Dr. Michael Taylor, I know many times people don't thank you for the work you do. Thank you for the difference you're making in child's lives, and thank you for everything that you do. And coming here this morning. Yeah, as well. He's a father of 3. His wife's getting the kids ready right now, so you got to run him back home and make sure your wife's going to be happy as well. Stand Up to Cancer, once again, is this Friday. You'll see it right here on Citytv, as well as major broadcasters right across the country. Take a couple dollars out of your pocket, that is, and donate. Thank you very much, and we'll see you right after the break.